Vintage swimwear is so high maintenance. Why are you so difficult to be with? Hello my loves, I'm Miss MonMon. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing everything you need to know when shopping for true vintage swimwear. For those of us in the southern hemisphere, summer is well and truly upon us, which means it's time to enjoy the beach and the beautiful riversides, especially here in Perth, that we can enjoy and swim in. It gives me a chance to wear some of my favourite true vintage swimwear pieces, but after shopping for swimwear for several years, I've come up with a few tips and tricks to really help you find the best swimwear for you, especially if you are after true vintage. So that is what I'm hopefully going to be sharing with you today. Swimwear for the 1940s and 50s was not made out of the nylons, lycras and scuba fabric that we are so used to today. Popular fabrics such as jersey and rayon had nylon and elastic added to allow for a better stretch over the body for a more flattering fit when worn. Eventually, improvements came to fabrics and a more rubberized material known as lastex had begun development in the 1940s, which promised a more comfortable swimsuit. With a combination of acetate, taffeta and cotton, created swimwear of materials of all kinds in the 1950s. There are quite a few different styles of swimwear from the 1950s, so keep that in mind when you are out shopping. If you are looking for a super cute little bikini, the 50s probably aren't the best place to look. Vintage swimwear is structured quite differently from today's swimwear. You will find everything from zips to boning to special types of ruching. So if those kind of things don't really suit you and your needs, probably try and find a modern replica. Here is one of my vintage swimsuits, and it is a great example of just how different vintage is to modern. She has an inbuilt support bra, which includes boning. Now this boning is bent out of shape, so we have one booby bit that just sort of dips under and one that sort of sticks out, so the boning does need to replace. It is very badly bent out of shape. The back of the swimsuit has a built-in bra strap just to hold you up. So you have to clip this around your back and then pull your swimsuit up. She has a little sewn in skirt or a modesty flap just to sort of help cover up your bikini line, as well as quite thick adjustable straps. She is made out of what I have been told is a cotton with a bit of elastane. She soaks up a lot of water. I've worn this once for a swim, never again unfortunately. She is designed for photo shoots only, because I felt like I was swimming in a chamois and I was worried that the pool would all be absorbed into my swimsuit. So those kind of things are quite common. You can also get swimsuits with a lot of ruching, which some people can find unflattering, such as this one, which is actually one of my favorite swimsuits. The entire back is ruched. It's so cute. I love this fabric. So if that is something that you don't want to deal with, just get a modern one. Just get a modern swimsuit. My biggest tip is vintage style is very unique, especially from the 50s. A lot of swimwear was more designed as beach fashion as opposed to it being seaworthy. A lot of the times these swimsuits were designed to be admired on the shore of the beach as opposed to going for a swim, so their seaworthiness may be a little bit questionable. There are some really interesting styles, such as what I like to call the bubble butt. It's not flattering on everybody. There are some really weird and wonderful vintage styles. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, so when you do go shopping for vintage swimsuits, don't make comments that will make other people feel bad for enjoying or liking certain style. If you can rock the bubble butt, rock that bubble butt. Do it for people like myself who just end up looking like they're wearing a big diaper. One big tip I have when shopping for vintage swimwear is know your sizing. Especially if you are shopping online, make sure you know your bust, your waist and your hips. Because although a lot of vintage swimwear has ruching and you have quite a bit of a forgiving stretch, sometimes you don't want to stress out the fabric. And keep in mind that elastic does decay over time. So I've put on vintage swimwears, it's been fine. And the second time I've gone to put it on, I can hear that elastic crackle. A lot of our pools have a lot of very strong chemicals to keep bacteria out, and that can decay vintage elastic. So unless you treat it straight away, there is a high chance that you could end up damaging the item further. If you are shopping in person, please try it on. I know you might be shopping and you're hot and sweaty and tired and you've got shopping bags and you kind of just want a bubble tea to go home, but try on that swimsuit because it might look great on the hanger, but until you try it on, it might just be a bit of a dud. When you are shopping for your vintage swimwear, flip the swimwear inside out. The areas you really want to inspect include the crotch and the bust area. Keep an eye out for any damage, which includes holes, staining or tears. Ask yourself if you can actually fix it, and always try vintage swimwear on by keeping your underwear on. Don't take it off. You don't want to accidentally it's just gross, guys. Just keep your underwear on until you can get it home and properly launder it and or fix it up. This one, for example, I can see that there's quite a bit of staining. Believe it or not, it has a wool layer because when I swim, of course, I want a woolen layer. And the elastic has completely gone. It's now scalloped and rippling, which doesn't make for a flattering fit. Vintage swimwear was designed to be fitted and well structured. If you aren't comfortable fixing up a garment that might need a little bit of help, maybe leave the true vintage aside, or perhaps shop for something from the 60s or 70s, which sort of left behind the boning and all the really tight ruching. This is one of my swimsuits from the 70s. The ruching is gone. We've got a cute low back, but she does still have a built-in bra. There are no wires because the shape is really built into the lace and it's very firm. But one cute thing that I do admire to help keep that structure is she has little waistband straps which just sort of attach to the front of your body. I love this one. The colors are gorgeous. One of my beautiful friends found this in an op shop for me and I absolutely adore it. Vintage swimwear is adorable, unique and a lot of fun, but it's certainly not for everybody. If you are shopping for vintage swimwear and you can't find anything that flatters your body, please don't be disheartened. I would highly recommend you looking for vintage reproductions. Coming on my blog on Monday, I will have a list of some of my favorite reproduction brands, as I have a lot more reproduction swimwear than I do have true vintage. When shopping for vintage swimwear, keep in mind that there is a high chance you will have to do some mending. Elastic does not last very long, and if you are going to be swimming in it, please keep it in good condition. Always rinse it and wash it after each time you wear it in the pool, as you will just extend its life a little bit longer. There are some really gorgeous swims, especially on places like Etsy. If you are looking for something to get you through an awful winter, I highly recommend buying a super cute swim piece, as it'll just make you look forward to summer just a little bit more and get you through that hump. That is all I have time for you guys today, so thank you so much for joining me. If you would like any more information or details about how to shop for true vintage swimwear, I have all that in a blog which you can find in the description box below. Coming out on Monday on my blog, I will also have a list of my favourite vintage reproduction swimwear companies, and you can have a look for something a little bit more modern and sturdy. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe and join my little YouTube family. We'd love to have you along on our adventures of vintage, glamour and tomfoolery. I will see you guys all next week with a brand new video, but until then, be kind, be true, be you. Have a beautiful week. Bye!